Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spot Connection with the Willie Comic Book Roundup. We've got a decently sized Marvel haul this week, so let's get started. Kicking things off, we've got Blood Hunt Amazing Spider-Man number 3, wrapping up the Blood Hunt tie-in for Amazing Spider-Man. So, basically, what's been going on is Morbius is trying to work on, obviously working on a cure for himself, with some assistance from, more security assistance from Misty Knight and Colleen Wing, and the Lizard has also been helping out. However, with everything that's been going on, well, it's hit the fan, pretty much. So there's a group of, led by a former member of, there's an organization led by a former employee of the Beyond Corporation, called Hemoglobin Inc. And they want to provide Morbius with, lab space, funding, and all that he really is kind of in need of. But of course, CEO of Beyond, Maxine Danger, she's not too keen on the fact that they're competition. So yeah, but she is delivered a thumb drive which can be used to wipe the hard drives of for hemoglobin. So Spidey and Misty Knight make their way there. Also, Colleen has been captured by hemoglobin when they recruited Dr. Mike. And she, as Misty finds out, she's been turned. But Lizard and Spider-Man team up to deal with vampires. Obviously, there's a fight between Vampire Colleen and Misty. And one of the vampires points out that hemoglobin points out that they weren't turned, they were turned against their will. And Spidey finds Morbius, and apparently he's managed to cure the current recent vampire strain, but he's made no headway on curing his own strain of vampirism. But when Morbius discovers that, or learns that some of the vampires there were turned against their will, Lizard ends up, the fight that Lizard is having with one of the rather larger vampires spills into Morbius's lab, and Morbius basically says, "Hey, Spider-Man, take this. This is the cure. It's an aerosol. Put it in the cooling system." So Spidey heads to the roof, and runs into TJ, the former Beyond employee that created the hemoglobin Inc. He doesn't want a potential cure ruining his vampire company. So yeah, but he sets off. He places the cure in the cooling system, and while TJ goes to deal with him, Maxine Danger shows up, and apparently she has a silver line steel net for taking him in, invoking TJ's non-compete clause in his contract, and also basically gives Spider-Man a thumb drive that has all of Morbius's notes on the cure. So yeah, and everyone's cured. Well, of course, obviously Misty Knight, or Colleen Wing. So Spider-Man and Misty talk about the fact that Maxine showed up, and though Morbius' lab is kind of ruined. And they discuss how it feels when Maxine does her thing where it's like she did something good but kind of self-serving, and you kind of feel like you need a shower afterwards. But while Morbius' lab is ruined, the Beyond Corporation has told Morbius that he can use the lab that was housing Hemoglobin Inc. For as long as he wishes, with his lab assistant, Dr. Kirk Connors, the Lizard. And that is where this tie-in series ends. There was also in Blood Hunt the first issue that there was an issue of Amazing Spider-Man. It's the ongoing series. Basically, White Rabbit got turned, and he was trying to help her. So yeah, and prevent her from harming anyone. Moving on though to our next book, we've got Blood Hunters number 4, wrapping up the anthology series. So, first off, we've got Light from Shadow, featuring Silver Surfer. Surfer is in the cosmos, in the planet on the planet Idrea, or approaching it. Idrea is the sole planet in the Gemini binary star system. Apparently, there's there's a person on the planet who has a connection to the Dark Force dimension. And they protect the planet from the fact that there are 2 suns. Otherwise, it would be never-ending day. And so, Silver Surfer tries to help the planet's Night Chaser, and ends up Surfer entering the Dark Force dimension, where he finds multiple heroes of Earth, so many of which he knows, and Silhouette. He talks to Silhouette, who is surprised that Surfer knows her, but she points out that she was among the valiant youths once assisting the Fantastic Four against Terrax. Way back in New Warriors number 17. But she tells him what's going on Earth with the Dark Force dimension. But the Dark Force dimension itself attacks Surfer. And he's just like, well, that's going to as Earth's gonna have to deal with that themselves, but I got to deal with all this. And so the surfer, um, the Night Chaser died, and so Adria has an asteroid belt that is nearby, and so Surfer basically forces the asteroids into forming a shield, a sun on for one side of the planet. So yeah, but these guys go. There are various other planets that are affected by this. The Ebony Trinity of Paraxis 4, the Fawning Abyss of Dracula 9, Indigo Obscuro on Dentrum 2. There are Dark Force wielders on other worlds in need, so until Earth's heroes find a permanent solution to this challenge, the Surfer will bring what light he can to the darkness of space. Our next story stars Satana. Satana and the Blood Bar. So Satana, sister of Damien Hellstrom, daughter of Mephisto, runs a club in Vegas, and well, it's supposed to be kind of the kind of place where supernatural creatures and humans can mingle without anything bad happening. Like vampires could come in and hang out, but they can't feed on the clientele. I mean, while there, it's supposed to become a neutral, a place of neutrality among the creatures of humans and the creatures of the night. But Satana is informed that they've got a lot of vampires at the club tonight, and they're a bit rowdier than usual. The bouncer, her bouncers, kicked some of them out, but the whole bunch joined them, and so yeah. And one of the vampires puts the bite on one of her bouncers. And so Satana is displeased, to say the least, and she tells one of the vampire who appears to be taking point in this, that they need to get out. They are barred for unlife from her bar, and he's just like, yeah, nah. And tries to put the bite on Satana. After also feeding on one of the bartenders. And Satana does not take that lightly. Kills this particular vampire and basically says when it's pointed out by one of the other bouncers that there are going to be others and more will come, well, Satana's just like, yeah, okay, we'll be waiting. And now we've got the conclusion of Once More Into the Darkness, featuring Elsa Bloodstone, Dagger, Yelena Belova, and now Hallows Eve. So she basically, the short version, that yeah, she was camouflaged with the vampire, camouflaged herself as a vampire to avoid being eaten. And they try to recruit her. She's like, I'm not really the hero, but she's cut off when they're swarmed by a bunch of vampires. and Quartet deal with it. Turns out one of Halsey's mask is a Spider-Man mask. Gives her webs, gives her, presumably also gives her spider sense. But Dagger is trying to heal the various vampires of their vampirism. And she does pretty well, and so Dagger says we should help out. We should do more for everyone else. We should try and help everyone else so we can. Uh, White Widow's in. Elsa's in. And Halsey was convinced by White Widow saying that Halsey says she's not a hero, but White Widow says she's not a hero either. That doesn't stop her from doing heroic things sometimes. And that is where the series ends. It does not look like Hallows Eve is on the final. Oh well, yes. Apparently she is on the lineup for the team. That's where the issue ends, setting up the Blood Hunters ongoing series next month. Moving on to our next book, we've got Blood Hunt Dracula #3. So Dracula has been helping Bloodline. Basically, he stated that she's gonna have to destroy her father, as he's Lord of the Vampires sort of currently, and he's been actually a good guy. Of course, Bloodline is reluctant to take out her father, but she'll at least try to take him down. Of course, she's already, but she's been basically put under Varney's spell, the first vampire who is possessing Blade. Basically forcing visions upon her. Image of Blade tries to convince Brielle to give in to her vampiric nature, but she's not having it. Meanwhile, Dracula fights something akin to what Deacon Frost turned into in the first Blade movie, which he simply refers to as spoiled food, and he deals with it handily enough. But Brielle is snapped out of her vision by her phone ringing. In the real world. And Dracula helps her get free, and she manages to get out and get to her phone. It's her mom, and her mom saying, "Hey, you're okay. I'm okay. You're okay. Checking in. Say I'm okay. Make sure you're okay, and we'll talk about what's happened later, but we'll talk about it. You know, and Brielle states that she's made her decision, that it's her family, her responsibility. And she's going to try and save Blade from himself. And that is where the series ends. Bloodhunt itself will be ending next week. So, yeah. Moving on, though, to our last book for the moment, we've got Bloodhunt, X-Men, Laura Kinney, the Wolverine. So this kind of, in some ways, this issue feels like a prologue to the upcoming NYX ongoing series, which is, among other characters, going to focus on on Laura Kinney, Wolverine, formerly known as X-23. So, Laura's dealing with vampires in upstate New York, looking for her sister. She finds Gabby. Apparently, Gabby's been having blood drawn from her, more like medical purposes. Basically, she's not being. Vampires are trying to feed on the blood of mutants, hoping that maybe that might give them an edge. And, well, Gabby's healing factor, yeah. So Laura says that they've got to make sure that someone else gets free. A mutant, yeah, totally a mutant. It's not a mutant. It's Zarus, the son of Dracula. Laura is against freeing him because, well, picture this: the son of Dracula, the most well-known vampire in all of pop culture. His son's a vampire. I couldn't believe that. Of course his son's a vampire. While they are arguing, however, some of the other vampires attack, and Gabby and Laura slice and dice their way through. However, one of them has drank some of Gabby's blood and gets gutted and heals. And so Zarus does the energy blast thingy and destroys said vampire. But in the explosion, a chunk of wood ends up in Zarus's heart. Yeah, right there. However, Laura cuts herself and has Zarus feed on her because she trusts him. And that is where the issue ends. So that's this week's Bloodhunt tie-in issues. Next week will be the finale of Bloodhunt, as well as all the remaining miniseries, and there's a couple more ongoings that are tie-ins as well. So, anyways, that's going to do it for now. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram, Mastodon, Patreon, and PayPal can be found in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off, saying, live long and rock hard.